Hello, Assalamu alaikum, and a hearty welcome to all my beloved students to today's English classroom. Are you ready for today's English class? Okay, very good. So, we already finished our first unit consisting of 3 chapters, and now we have to move on to our second unit. Isn't it really thrilling to learn? Okay, so now get ready for your second unit. Here we go. So, the name of our second unit is Still We Rise. Hey, did you get any idea regarding the name of the unit? Still We Rise? What is meant by that? In life, we are facing many problems nowadays. This unit is mainly focusing on the women. Okay, women are facing many problems in the current society. So, whatever problem comes before them, they are ready to face it. They are fit to face it. And they will face the problems courageously and they will come up. They will rise from all the problems in life. Okay. Now look at this picture. In this picture, we can see a parrot which was caged is flying into the sky, is flying into the open air. So when it was caged, it was in prison. It has lost all its freedom while it was inside the cage. And now, when it is let out, it is rising high into the world of freedom. So, the women of 21st century, how much ever we try to imprison them, they will break everything and they will rise high. Now look at these pictures. Here we can see the girls, the ladies and the women from different parts of the world fighting for various rights. They are fighting against injustice done to them and the world around them. How can we get away with all these? We should empower ourselves. We should fly high. We should break the chains of freedom. And we should rise high. Then only we can face this world with a smile. So it is time for us to rise and act. Wow! I can see a smile on all your faces when this pic came on the screen. Am I right? Oh, what a beautiful pic, isn't it? Can you tell me who is this princess? It's a very famous princess from the Disney world. Who is it? Very good. This is none other than Cinderella. Yes, Cinderella is the most loved and evergreen princess of all times. So, our first chapter in this unit is Cinderella. So, I think you are really excited to learn this. Okay, here we go. Now, all my dear students, open your English textbook, turn to page 41. Okay, are you ready? Okay, now let me start. Cinderella. Who does all the work at home? What kind of work do you do? Imagine that you have to do all the household work alone. How will it be? Or try to think of such a girl who does all the domestic work without having proper food, clothing, etc. Read the story of such a girl. Did you understand anything? I'll explain. Who does all the work at home? At your home, who is doing all the work? Very good. It's obviously your mom. What kind of work do you do? Okay, very good. Some of you are cleaning the house. Some of you mop the floor for your mom. Some of you wash the dishes for your mom. Some of you arrange the food on the table. Very good. Okay, so we are helping our moms at home with simple by doing simple things at home. Imagine that you have to do all the household work alone. How will it be? Oh, that would really be very tiring, I hope. Helping mom with this simple task itself makes us tired. Then can you imagine doing everything on your own? No, that would be quite difficult for us. Try to think of such a girl who does all the domestic work. What do you mean by domestic? Domestic means related to your house. If a girl is doing all the work on her own without having proper food, okay, she is doing all the work at home, cooking, cleaning, mopping, washing, everything she is doing herself. That also without having proper food, clothing, etc. Without having food, can you work for such a long time? No. Now let us see the story of such a girl. Okay. The cinder girl. What do you mean by cinder? Cinder means ashes, or you can also say the unburned small particles. Okay. Once upon a time, there was a rich man who lived happily with his wife and daughter. One day, his wife fell sick. When she felt that her end was drawing near, she called her only daughter near her and said, "Dear child, be good and pious, and God will always take care of you. I will look upon you from heaven and will be with you." So, once upon a time, there was a rich man and he lived happily with his wife and daughter. And what happened? One day his wife became sick. And when she understood that she was going to die, she called her only daughter. They had only one child, that was a daughter. She called her daughter near her and said, "Dear child, dear daughter, be good and pious." What do you mean by pious? Pious means religious or God fearing. Okay, you know what is meant by God fearing? Always being mindful of Allah. Okay, you are very religious. That is called pious. Okay, so you should be a good girl and you should be very God fearing. And if you do so, God will always take care of you. If you are good and pious, God will always take care of you. I will look upon you from heaven and will be with you. So, I am going to die. So, even if I die, I will be looking upon you from the heaven to see that you are leading a very good life and will be with you. And I'll be always with you. Okay. And then she closed her eyes forever. And what happened? After telling this much to her daughter, she closed her eyes forever. She died. The maiden went every day to her mother's grave and wept and remained pious and good. What do you mean by maiden? Maiden means an unmarried girl. Okay. So Cinderella, every day she went to her mother's grave. Grave means the place where she was buried after death. And wept. What is the meaning of wept? Wept means cried. Which form of the verb is it? V1 or V2? Very good. It is V2 form. So can you tell me the V1 form of this verb? Weep. Very good. So weep, past tense is wept. So every day she went to her mother's grave and she cried over there. And what happened? And she remained pious and good. As she had given promise to her mother, she always remained pious. Pious means very good, religious. and God fearing. Okay, she always remained religious and a good girl. And what happened after that? When winter came, the snow covered the grave with a white covering. So, when the winter season came, the grave was covered with snow. Then the sun came in the early spring and melted it away. After the winter season came the spring season. And what happened? The sun melted all the snow away. Then the sun came in the early spring and melted it away. Soon Cinderella's father married again. The new wife was a proud and unkind woman. And what happened? As time passed by after her mother's death, a winter season and a spring season passed by, which shows that time passed by. And now what happened? Her father married again. And the new wife, she was a proud and unkind woman. The new wife brought her two daughters along with her. Though they were beautiful and fair in appearance, at heart they were wicked and ugly. So, when Cinderella's stepmother came home, she brought her two daughters along with her. She already had two daughters. Sure. So, she took them also to Cinderella's home. They were beautiful and fair, but at heart they were wicked and ugly. They were very cruel and ugly at heart. Okay. And then began the evil times for the poor girl. Is the stupid creature to sit in the same room with us? Asked they. Is she going to share the same room with us? They asked. Those who eat food must earn it. She is nothing but a kitchen maid. They took away her pretty dresses and forced her to put on an old grey one. They also gave her wooden shoes to wear. Poor Cinderella. All her beautiful clothes were taken away by her stepsisters, and instead they gave her an old frock to wear. They gave her an old grey frock and also a wooden shoes. And they also told that those who eat food must earn it. She is nothing but a kitchen maid. So if Cinderella is eating food from home, she should work at home. She is just a kitchen maid here. They made her the kitchen maid or the servant, and they laughed at her and sent her to the kitchen. There she was made to do heavy work from morning to night. Get up early in the morning, draw water, make the fire, and cook and wash. So, almost all the hard works at home was done by Cinderella. And what happened after that? Did she have a good place to take rest? No, as she had no bed to lie upon. She had to rest on the hearth among the cinders. What do you mean by hearth? Hearth means the cemented area near the fireplace. See, you can see I marked it in the picture. And cinders means the burned material. So Cinderella always looked dusty and dirty as she slept in the cinders. Okay, so she always looked dirty and dusty because she was sleeping near the fireplace. Those cinders came on her clothes and she was always looking dusty and dirty. So they named her Cinderella. I think it's time for us to wind up today. In this class, we'll be only covering this much. The remaining part of this chapter, inshallah, we'll be doing in the next class. So now it's time for us to wind up. So see you in next class. Until then, take care and bye-bye.